Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Explore. In this tutorial, we are going to assemble the power transmission components of Boxer 4 engine. At first, we are going to assemble with sprocket chain mechanism, and then we are going to use an alternative method, which is belt and pulley. Remember, if your PC is not too powerful, then it may slow down during chain sprocket assembly and cause serious problem during motion study. To avoid these problems, I recommend to use belt pulley method shown after the chain sprocket assembly. Click on Insert Component, then go to Sprocket Chain, press Ctrl and select Cam Sprocket and Crank Sprocket. Now place it here. Now press Ctrl and select these two surfaces, then click on Mate, select Concentric and click OK. Now select these two key slot surfaces, select Coincident and click OK. Now close the mate, expand Insert Component and select Copy with Mate, then select the crank sprocket, then click on Next. Now follow the violet color and select these surfaces, then click OK. Now click on Mate, expand Advanced Mate and select Width, and select these two surfaces and select both of the side of one sprocket. Then click OK. Now again select this surface and this surface. Go to Standard Mate and select Coincident, then click OK. Now close the mate. Now press Ctrl, select these two surfaces, then click on Mate, select Concentric and click OK. Now select the key slot surfaces, select Coincident and click OK. Now close the mate, expand Insert Component and select Copy with Mates. Then select the cam sprocket and then click on Next. Now follow the violet color and choose the proper surfaces. Close mate. Select this surface, press Ctrl and select this surface. Then click on Mate, select Coincident and click OK. Similarly, repeat the same process for these two cam sprockets. Now select the outer crank sprocket and expand it. Select the midplane of the crank sprocket. Press Ctrl. Now expand any of these two cam sprocket and select the midplane of that. Then click on Mate. Select Coincident, then click OK. Now repeat the same process for other crank sprocket and the rest of two cam sprockets. If you put the cursor over any of these sprockets, a orange color outline will help you to identify the proper one. Now we have to synchronize the engine components. Place the first piston at top dead center as it is the beginning of intake stroke. Now place the intake valve just before it is completely opened and place the exhaust valve just before it is closed. After 180-degree intake stroke is going to occur at the piston number 4, we are going to place the intake and exhaust valve 90-degree backward to the intake position. Expand assembly and select belt chain. Now select the circles of the sprocket. Click on belt location plane and then expand assembly and select the midplane of the sprocket. Click on use belt thickness and the thickness is 5 mm. Now repeat the same process for making another chain path. Now click on insert component, select chain inner part and chain outer part, then click on open. Now expand linear component pattern and select chain component pattern. Now select the third path method, expand assembly, go to bottom, expand belt and select the belt sketch. Click on fill path, select the inner chain part as chain group 1, then select these two holes. Then it asks for chain alignment path, select the midplane of the inner chain component, then click on chain group 2 and select the outer chain part. Select these two circular surfaces and then it asks for chain alignment path. So select the midplane of that part. You can see a gap here, so increase one more component. Now repeat the same process for this side also. Now click on mate, expand mechanical mate, select gear and select this surface and this surface. Then click OK. Now repeat the same process for other side also. Now we are going to assemble with belt and pulley. So click on insert component and select the cam pulley and crank pulley. Then click on open. Press Ctrl and select this surface and this surface. Then click on mate. Select concentric and click OK. Now select these two surfaces. Select coincident and click OK. Select the key slot surfaces. Select coincident and click OK. Now expand insert component and select copy with mate. Now select the cam pulley, then click on next. Now follow the violet color to the adjacent camshaft for selecting the proper surfaces. Now assemble the crank pulley using similar method. Now close the mate. We are going to select copy with mate option for assembling the right side pulleys. We are going to skip this mid part because we don't want to mate with these forward surfaces. Now click on mate again. Select this surface and this surface. Select coincident and click OK. Now expand insert component and select copy with mate. Now select the crank pulley, then click on next. Select this surface. Skip the middle one and then select this key slot surface. Then click OK. Now click on Mate, expand Advanced Mate, select Width, select these two surfaces of the crankshaft, and now select the both side of the pulley. Then click OK. Now expand the second cam pulley, then click on front plane, press Ctrl. Now expand any of these two cam pulley, select front plane, then click on Mate. Select coincident and click OK. Now close the Mate. Now we need to synchronize all of the engine components. So rotate the crankshaft and put the front piston to the top dead center. Now we are going to synchronize all of the components as it is beginning of intake stroke. The crankshaft rotation is in clockwise direction, so put the intake valve as it is almost fully open. And place the exhaust valve as it is almost closed. After 180-degree crank rotation, the piston number 4 will be in intake stroke. So after 90 degree, the intake valve and exhaust valve for this piston will be in intake stroke. Now expand assembly and select belt chain. Collapse the assembly so it will be clear. Now select the outer surface of the pulleys. Click on create belt part and select OK. Now repeat the same process for this side also. Now go to the bottom, expand belt, right click over the belt component and select open with. Now right click over the top plane and select normal to. Right click again and select sketch. Now select line. Draw the belt cross section. Now press escape. Select this line. Then click on for construction. Then click OK. Select smart dimension. This line is 4 mm and distance between these two lines is 2.5 mm. This angle is 120 degree. Click on Mirror Entities. Select the sketch and mirror about the center line. Go to Features and select Sweep Boss Base. Select the cross section and select the belt path. Click on Appearance and select Mate Rubber. Now go to the assembly. Now repeat the same process for creating the another belt. Now press Ctrl and select all of these sketches. Right click over the sketch and select height. Now rotate the crankshaft and check the assembly.